Hi, today we will be dealing with the play The Clay Cart or Mrichchhkatika written by Sudraka. Now Sudraka is one of the ancient writer of ancient India, and the exact deciphering the exact date would be very problematic. You can't actually decipher the exact date when this play was written. But yes, there are numerous instances in which we find that Sudraka has written numerous texts, and also he was remembered as a great man, as a great thinker, as a great, king, and he also knew many languages like Sanskrit, Prakrit, and others. So it has been claimed by some critics that yes, this play has been written by Sudraka, but some claim that maybe Sudraka is not the actual name of the author. Maybe Sudraka is just the adopted name of the then king present during that particular time, during that particular era. But okay, things apart, our main focus should be on the play itself and not when it was written or not. Okay, so Sudarga wrote this play. Now what is very important about this play is this play belongs to the category of prakarn. No, look at this line, this play, it is not a natak or natakriti, because natak, you see, natak denotes representation of the sacred and godly in a form that indicates the lofty and profound. Natak should represent a godly image, a mystical figures, kings and all. But in this play you won't find any mystical figures, you won't find any godly images, but rather you will find the ordinary life, you will find the common day-to-day action of men and women. Therefore this play belongs to the category of prakarna. Now according to Biswanath Banerjee, Prakarna, see what is Prakarna type of drama? The Prakarna type of drama, you see here written, the primary condition of a Prakarna to which class this drama belongs is that it should be a drama of invention. That means a Prakarna type of drama should be a drama of invention. Of whose invention? That is, the plot should be the invention of the poet himself. This means Prakarna type of drama should be the invention of the poet themselves. Yes, the poet or the dramatist should involve some kind of invention in their plot. Kavi kalpit. No. And such play should be based, you see, such play should be based on the worldly life, focusing on the actions of men and women. Yes, this becomes very important. No, in this respect, Sudraka's drama fulfills the condition of dramaturgy quite well, and even goes beyond it to be considered as the only drama of invention. Now if we parallelly look at the definition of Prakarna type of drama and the play written by Sudraka, this play Mrichchhkatika, you will find that okay, this is the only play that is inventing. This is the poet. This is the invention of the poet himself, a Kavi Kalpit. He represented the social status of the social status of the society. No, social status of the society during the time he was writing this play. He represented the common day action of men and women in this play, and therefore you won't find any godly image or any mythical figures in this play, or any mystery or such kind of things in this play. Therefore in this sense this play represents the common day-to-day life. Therefore it belongs to the Prakarna type of drama. Okay, so this is to which type of drama it belongs? It belongs to the Prakarna type of drama. Now in the play you will have face-to-face interaction with a fight between the good and evil, noble and ignoble, godlike and devilish. This we will discuss during the summary of the play. Now what is very important is, because this is the critical analysis, therefore these three statements are very important, because these three statements will enlighten you about the social and socio-economic conditions of the society that Sudraka has presented in his play. So whatever he has written in this play, it is for sure that the way he has written, the way he wrote this play, it depicts that he might have seen or he might have experienced his era, he might have experienced the era in which he lived. He experienced the social condition, he experienced the social economic perspectives, and therefore his play is very realistic. You see Charu Dutt's plight, the poverty stricken protagonist, our protagonist Charudat, he is very poverty stricken. Right from the beginning of the play, you will find such instances wherein you will get to know that Charudat is a poor Brahmin, is poverty stricken. No, so the way Sudraka presented this play, this this gives us the idea, this hints us that even during the ancient India, social conditions, socio-economic perspectives was very important. Socio-economic perspective was the only major thing that decided the social standings or the social position of the people. You see what is written here. The very first statement explains that out of poverty and death I prefer death. Why Charudath is preferring death? Because death is short lived, the pain is not very long. But this poverty is an unending misery, is a long pain. You have to suffer for long, but in death you have to suffer for short time. So if someone asks our protagonist to choose between death and poverty, he will choose death. So this statement explains that what is the condition of a poor people, how they think, how they idealize their society and their surroundings. For them, death is the most easiest thing to do. No, death. We fear death, but for the poor people, they are like, okay, it is better to die rather than to end our life in this misery. So poverty is something that is a kind of, this becomes very social evil sometimes. Poverty becomes sometimes social evil. Why social evil? Because sometimes it will force you to do something illegal, to do something wrong. But on the part of our protagonist, our Charudat, he never committed any crime because of his poverty. Rather, he, whatever the wealth he had, no, he tried to do charity with that only. With little amount of wealth, he had this, idea of doing charity. Still, even being poor, he is not even for a second thinking to rob or to do something illegal so that he can earn money. Rather, he is thinking to give away his money in charity, whatever the little amount he had. No, so this is our protagonist, a very moral character, a very strong character, morally very strong character. Now look at the second line. Loss of money is not of my misery. Observe, what pains me is that guest avoid coming to my house because it has lost its riches, as the news fly off to desert when the thick line of root on the elephant's cheek totally dries up. Now this line becomes again very important. Through this line, through this statement, you can understand what Sudraka meant, how he actually presented his character, and how he actually presented the socio-economic perspective in his play. You see, even in the ancient India, socio-economic perspectives became very important. Look at this line. What do you find in this line? What pains me is that guests avoid coming to my house. Why guests are avoiding? Because Charudat is poor now, and this is very true even in our present society. If you are poor, no one will like you, no one will come to your house, no one will respect you. So your respect in the society is because of the wealth that you have accumulated, that you have earned. The more wealthy you are, the more respected you are, even in the present context. And you will be astonished, you will be shocked to know that these type of things still prevailed in our ancient India. You see, this play is the only evidence, this play is the proof that even in that ancient India, Sudraka wrote this type of play. He wrote such type of plot in his play. So whatever he wrote, it is quite possible that he might have experienced or he might have seen such things in the society during the era he lived, and therefore he presented such things in this text. You see, even it is very problematic to decipher the exact date of this play. So this is very clear from the very beginning that this play belongs to an ancient text, and therefore it is under the unit of Indian classical literature. This is a classical text, very ancient Indian text, written by some ancient Indian author. So even during that ancient India, this socio-economic perspective was important, which is still prevalent in our society. The wealth, the money you acquire, the money you earn becomes very important. Now look at this third line. Friend, I am not really feeling any anxiety on account of the loss of my fortune. Why? Because money comes and go. No, richness is one's fortune. Richness is one's luck. How much lucky you get, you become rich. Or money is something that is very economic. You will lose it, you will gain it. But what is very problematic? What is a thing to concern here is that people go thoughtless even in their affection towards a person. This becomes very important. This is a thing to this statement is very important. It's very concernful. You have to look at this statement from your deep perspective, from your deep mind. This is very prevalent in our present society as well. People are affectionless if you are not wealthy. They will become very thoughtless. They won't think that okay, you are a literate man, or you are a morally or ethically strong person. No, they won't. Or you are an honest person. No, they won't respect that. Okay, you are honest, good. You are morally strong, ethically strong, that is good. But what if you want to get the affection of the society, if you want to get the affection of the people, your neighbors or the relatives, you have to earn money. You have to be wealthy. Only then you can get their affection, or else they will ignore you. So this is very prevalent in our present society, and this was prevalent even during the society in which Charudatta lived, or the society or the era during which Sudraka wrote this play. No, therefore poverty becomes one of the important theme of the play. Here I have provided 6 important themes. Love, the love between Charudat and Vasant Sena. Infidelity. Infidelity means having an extramarital affair. So Charudat is having an extramarital affair with Vasant Sena because our protagonist Charudat is a married man. He is married to Dutta. No, and despite being married and having a son Roh Sena, he is still in love with Vasant Sena, and Vasant Sena also loved him back. So this is the instance of infidelity here. Infidelity means having an extramarital affair. Poverty, as I said, is an important thing. Morality, as I explained, you can look at the character of Charudatta. He is morally very strong. Even Vasant Sena, Dutta and Charudatta's friends are morally very strong. Fate plays very important role. Fate, bhagya, no, fate and free will plays very important role. You see, because everyone, no one in this play, you will read, or when I explain the summary, you will find that no one is forced by any other external factors. Everyone is doing as per their own will. They are free. They are free to do. They are free to choose their action. No one is forcing them. No one is torturing them, or no one is subduing them with their own pressure or with their own actions. But rather, all the characters are performing freely according to their own will. And fate, bhagya, fate plays very important role. How? You see, at the end of the play, in the beginning of the play, you found that Charudatta is very poverty stricken Brahmin, a poor Brahmin. But at the end of the play, you will find that he married Vasant Sena, he had 2 wives, and then they lived happily forever, and he even accumulated wealth. He became wealthy once again. So this is the role of fate here. Intrigue means Sadyanta intrigue also becomes very important, because this lead to the creation of very diplomatic plot, very interesting plot, adventurous plot. This intrigue as the theme of the play that provides a sense, a certain aspect of entertainment, certain adventure, certain mystery in the play, and that will excites the audience very much. So this theme also becomes very important. When I explain the summary, I will hint you that how this theme is working here. Okay, so this is the very critical perspective. You see, in Mrichchhkatika, the play, display, or look at the title, the clay cart. Except for one single instance in the play, you won't find any single reference to the title. Why you won't find any single reference to the title? Because the title actually symbolizes the poverty stricken, the plight of our protagonist. This clay cart, This clay cart, the instance of this clay cart, you will find when I will explain the summary. I will explain that you will find this Charu Datta's son Rohsena was playing with his clay cart, and when Vasant Sena arrives, Charu Datta's son Rohsena wished to play with golden cards. So what Vasant Sena did? She filled his little this clay cart, little toy cart with ornaments. No, so this is the only single instance in the story, in the play, wherein you will find the reference to the clay cart, or else you won't find any reference. So this clay cart actually refers or reflects the socio-economic perspectives of the society presented in this play. No, so this becomes very important. So the title actually explains not only the plight of our protagonist, but the title also explains the important theme, that is poverty. Therefore the title clay cart actually explains that. No, okay, and this is also very important. The title clay cart also explains the moral standings in the society. Despite being very poor, Charudat was morally very strong, and despite being very wealthy, Vasant Sena was also very morally strong. Therefore, rather than titling the play with something else, the author choose it. The dramatist choose to write to choose the title "The Clay Cart" or "Mrichchhkatika" because the clay cart actually symbolizes the theme, the socio-economic perspective, and it also symbolizes the simpleness of our protagonist. Despite being very wealthy, Vasant Sena is also very simple in her thoughts, and despite being very poor, our protagonist Charudat is also very simple in his thoughts. No, therefore the title of the play aligns very well with the theme of the play and explains the socio-economic perspective of that time. So if someone asks you to explain the title, you have to explain it in this direction, that the title of the play explains the important theme, that is poverty. The title of the play explains the socio-economic perspective of the society presented in this play or the time during which Sudraka wrote this play, and the title of this play also represent the simpleness of the play. No, the prakarna type of drama of this play. The title very exactly parallels or aligns well with the prakarna type of drama, because prakarna type of drama focuses on the simple day-to-day life and action of men and women. No, so this becomes very important. Okay, now let us look at the some important aspect, like this play is written in 10 acts and there is a prologue as well. Prologue means a prologue is in the beginning of the play, that is a general introduction about the play, that how this play is going or what this play is all about. This prologue is like a trailer to the film. No, before the launch of any particular film or any new film, you see the trailer first. So that what is the work of that trailer? The work of that trailer is to arouse the interest in the audience. The 2 minute, 3 minute or 5 minute, whatever the time duration of the trailer might be, the main function of the trailer is to arouse the interest, to give a small detail, a introduction, that what this film is all about, or what is going to be in this film, or what this film will represent. The trailer presents a small background, a small introduction to that particular film. Similarly, in play, prologue plays the role of trailer. It presents a convention that facilitates a connection or a communication between the players on the stage and the audience. Now, because this is a play, there must be some spectator, there must be some audience, and there must be some real humans on the stage that will adopt some fictional characters, and they will indulge in the role playing of some fictional characters. Real humans indulged in some role playing of some fictional characters on stage. So if you are going to watch some theater or some play or some natak or some movie, the main purpose behind that is to relax, is to entertain yourself. So this course of entertainment, during this course of entertainment, trailer or prologue plays very vital role. It will provide you a general introduction, and that general introduction will ease the further plot, will ease the process of understanding the play and developing an interest in the story when the story unfolds in its latter part. when the play will unfold in its latter part, it will arouse the interest, because because the host has, the host has given the introduction about this particular play. So when you are introduced about a play, you will develop some enthusiasm, some interest, that okay, this play is about this, so okay, let us watch the entire play, and we will find that how it has been presented, or that has been presented, or whatever has been presented, so it is a kind of general introduction. And when you give a general introduction before the beginning of the play, it will arouse, it will give your audience some enthusiasm, some interest, and they will be very active. They will be very active, participants, when the story unfolds. So this will arise some interest, this will arouse some interest in the audience. Okay, now coming to the summary part, I will use the Hindi language now. In summary part, see what happens. I will explain it in Hindi. कि वसंत सेना and Charu Dutt are two lovebirds. Okay, they are in love with each other. Meanwhile, what happens? Sarvilaka, the thief, is also in love with Vasant Sena's maid or servant, Madanika. And you see, this is very important here. In the play, Maitri, Charudatta's friend, claims that because Vasant Sena is a Cartesian, she might dupe you, or she might hurt you at later stages. So what Maitri is doing here is, Maitri is judging the character of Vasant Sena based upon her profession. Now this is also very important. Maitri's thought process, or his idea about the character of Vasant Sena, actually reflects the general notion of the society present, of the ancient society or ancient India presented in this play, or written by Sudraka. Whatever Sudraka wrote, this means he must have, or he might have experienced that during that particular era, during that ancient India. So what Maitri said actually reflects the general conception, the general conceit of the society regarding the particular profession and judging the character of any individual. मैत्री ने जो जजमेंट किया बसंत सेना के कैरेक्टर पे, वो उस टाइम के लोगों के जनरल आइडिया को रिफ्लेक्ट करता है कि उस टाइम के लोग कैसे किसी के प्रोफेशन से किसी के कैरेक्टर को जज करते थे। लेकिन असल में वसंत सेना ने कभी भी ऐसा कुछ नहीं किया। वसंत सेना मोरली स्ट्रांग थी, डिस्पाइट बीइंग कॉटिशियन। वो उसको अपने प्रोफेशन को साइड में रखती थी, और अपने लव लाइफ को, अपने बिलवेड को वो बिल्कुल अलग तरीके से प्रोफेशनली अपने जॉब को प्रोफेशनली हैंडल करती थी, और अपने लव लाइफ को, जो कि फ्रॉम द कोर ऑफ हर हार्ट, जिसको वो एकदम अच्छे से चाहती थी, उसको वो बिल्कुल सेपरेट रखती थी। सो मोरली सी इज ऑल्सो वेरी स्ट्रांग। नाउ बिकॉज दिस इज अ प्ले, एंड बिकॉज देयर आर प्रोटागोनिस्ट, देयर मस्ट बी सम एंटागोनिस्ट। तो एंटागोनिस्ट कौन है? समस्त नका एंड सकारा, ये और सकारा, मतलब समस्त नका या उसका दूसरा नाम सकारा है। ये पालका राजा का भाई है, और यही जो है मेन एंटागोनिस्ट है, यानी कि विलन है प्ले का। ये क्या करता है? वसंत सेना को धमकी देता है कि देखो तुम मेरे पास आ जाओ, या तुम मुझसे शादी कर लो, नहीं करोगी तो तुमको जान से मार देंगे। तो इस धमकी के कारण वसंत सेना जो है वो भाग करके चारुदत्त के घर में चली जाती है, और कुछ गहना अपना वहाँ रख देती है। अब सर्विलका क्या करता है? वो चूंकि चारुदत्त तो बेचारा सीधा साधा आदमी है, और सर्विलका एक चोर है, और देखो इसका चोरी करने का भी उद्देश्य कोई खराब नहीं है, वो अपनी बिलवेड को छोड़वाना चाहता है। तो वो क्या करता है? चारुदत्त के घर से सारा सोना ज्वेलरी लिया, जाकर के वसंत सेना को दिया, और अपनी प्रेमिका, अपनी बिलवेड मदानिका को वो छोड़ा करके ले जाता है। अब देखो वसंत सेना जब वो ऑर्नामेंट लेती है, तो वो तो तुरंत समझ जाती है, क्योंकि उसी ने वो सारा गहना ले जा करके चारुदत्त को दिया था। तो वो तो तुरंत समझ जाती है कि अरे ये तो मैंने दिया था, इसका मतलब चारुदत्त के यहाँ चोरी किया है इसने, और वही ला करके दिया है। बट डिस्पाइट that, no, instead of punishing Sarvilaka, she understood the emotional status of Sarvilaka. She understood that because Sarvilaka is in love with my servant Madanika, and even I am also in love with Charudatta, so I can understand his emotional level, I can understand the sympathy he might have for his beloved, I can understand the social the social level, the social pressure on Sarvilaka for regaining the love of his beloved. सो इसीलिए उसने देखा कि चूंकि मैं भी तो लव में हूँ, वसंत सेना ने देखा कि चूंकि वो भी चारुदत्त के साथ लव में है, इसीलिए उसने सर्विलका के कंडीशन को, इमोशनल कंडीशन को अच्छे से समझा और रैदर देन पनिशिंग उसने एक्सेप्ट कर लिया, मदानिका को फ्री कर दिया। आगे जब स्टोरी अनफोल्ड होता है तो हमें दिखता है कि आर्यका जो है उसको पालका राजा जो है, इस उज्जैनी जगह का राजा है, सारा प्ले जो है उज्जैनी जगह पे हो रहा है, तो वहाँ पर कैद करके रखता है। अब आर्यका जो है उसको जब सैनिक लोग लेके जा रहा होता है दूसरे जगह, तो उसके पास यही एक मौका होता है वहां से भागने का, और इनडायरेक्ट वे में चारुदत्त आर्यका को मदद कर देता है भागने में, ठीक है। उसी दिन चारुदत्त जो है वो पार्क में मिलने जा रहा था वसंत सेना से, लेकिन समस्त नका सकारा के लोग जो है वसंत सेना को कैप्चर कर लिए, किडनैप कर लिए, और उसको जो है क्या कर दिए, मतलब किडनैप करके कहीं और लेकर और किसी और औरत को, लड़की को मार करके उस पार्क में फेंक दिया, और उसका खून का इल्जाम चारुदत्त पे लगा दिया गया। अब चारुदत्त बेचारा सीधा साधा, वो देखा भी नहीं कि बॉडी किसका है किसका नहीं है, और चूंकि राजा जो था वो तो इसका भाई था समस्त नाका का, पालका राजा, तो वो भी बदमाश था, तो उसने क्या किया कि चारुदत्त को एग्जीक्यूट करने का ऑर्डर दे दिया, यानी कि जान से मारने का ऑर्डर दे दिया। जब ये ऑर्डर आया तो चारुदत्त की पत्नी को विधवा होने से बचाने के लिए और अपने बिलवेड चारुदत्त की जान को बचाने के लिए वसंत सेना कैसे कैसे वहां से बच करके आई, किडनैपर लोग से बच करके जब वो निकली थी तो उसका देख रेख एक बुद्धिस्ट मॉन्क कर रहा था, और उसी जब वो वहां से ठीक हो गई तो उसी मॉन्क के सहारे वो आई। वो मॉन्क चारुदत्त की वाइफ और उसकी न्यूली वाइफ का स्टेटस वो दे देता है वसंत सेना को एट लास्ट, जब वो शादी कर लेता है तो तीनों हैप्पी रहते हैं। आर्यका जो है वो पलका को उखाड़ करके फेंक देता है, इस राजा को खत्म कर देता है, हटा देता है, वो राजा बन जाता है। चारुदत्त को एक एक पार्टिकुलर सिटी दे दी जाती है जहाँ का वो देख रेख करेगा, और उसको काफ़ी वेल्थ फिर से मिल जाता है, दो वाइफ मिल जाती है, और वो फिर हैप्पीली रहता है। वो जो बुद्धिस्ट मॉन्क जिसने कि वसंत सेना की जान बचाई, उसका देख रेख किया, उसको भी एक प्लेस दे दिया जाता है। और आर्य का जो राजा था वो काफ़ी ही अच्छा राजा था, मोरली स्ट्रांग राजा था, तो वो फिर सोसाइटी को रूल करता है और अच्छे तरीके से सब हैंडल करता है ना। तो जब ये अपने बिलवेड को बचाने आती है तो सब भांडा फूट जाता है, सब राज खुल जाता है, और राजा और इनका बदमाशी को सब पकड़ा जाता है, तीन लोग को जेल में डाल दिया जाता है, ठीक है। तो इस तरह से स्टोरी एंड होता है, ठीक है ना। अब यहाँ पर एक बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ है, वो ये ध्यान में रखना है कि किसी के भी मतलब एंशियंट इंडिया में इस तरह का ट्रेडिशन था, ये आज भी है कि हम किसी के प्रोफेशन से किसी के कैरेक्टर को जज करते हैं, तो ये ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए। ज़रूरी नहीं कि उसका अगर प्रोफेशन बहुत लोअर है तो वो मोरली भी बहुत लोअर हो। अब देखो यहाँ प्ले में जो राजा था, पालका राजा जो था, वो तो राजा था, किंग था, he was of very high social status, but instead of being of very high social status or very high social position, he was very, cruel, he was very evil in nature, very evil in character. So what will you say now? Charudat, he was a poor Brahmin, but he was of very morally strong character, of very good nature. But Palaka, he was a king. Vasant Sena, let us take the example of Vasant, or just take the example of Sarvilaka. Vasant Sena was a courtesan, but despite being courtesan, despite of her profession, she was morally and ethically a strong woman. No, she was strong. So this is a message that the dramatist do not judge someone. No, never judge someone with the wealth that they have accumulated. You have to judge. If you want to judge someone, then judge them with their characters. Judge them with their moral and ethical standings in the society, and not with the wealth that they have accumulated, that they have earned. Because wealth is something that is related to the economic status. They might lose it. So what will you do? If they lose it, now you will ignore them? Huh? What will you do if someone loses? If say for example, if you are respecting someone because he is very wealthy, that means you are respecting someone who might not be morally or ethically very strong. Or if you are respecting someone just based upon the wealth that he or she has accumulated, that means if that particular person or the individual will lose that wealth, you won't respect them. So this will, if you won't respect them, this means this will arise a question on your social standings, on your character. आपके कैरेक्टर पे क्वेश्चन उठ जाएगा कि पैसा है तो आप रिस्पेक्ट कर रहे हैं, और उसी इंसान का पैसा खत्म हो गया, देन यू आर नॉट रिस्पेक्टिंग हिम। दिस बिकम्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, तो आपको ये समझना है। तो ये सारा चीज़ कॉन्टेक्स्ट इस प्ले में दिखाया गया है ना, इस कि किस तरह से सिंपल सोशियो इकोनॉमिक पर्सपेक्टिव को शुरुआत से ही हमारा जो प्रोटैगनिस्ट है बेचारा गरीब रहता है, लेकिन अंत में जाकर के फेट भाग्य उसका बड़ा मजबूत हो जाता है, उसको एक वाइफ भी सुंदर सी मिल जाती है, और प्लस वो फिर से अपना पोजीशन को एक्वायर, फिर से वो वेल्दी भी हो जाता है। तो ओवरऑल सुद्रका in his play represented the socio-economic perspective of the society presented in the play, or maybe the society that he experienced or lived in. And through this play he presented the daily action of men and women, the daily life of men and women. Actually he represented the actual society, and the society that he represented in this ancient text is still very true and very parallel, is still very prevalent in our present condition. इसमें जिस तरह से वेल्थ के बारे में बात किया गया है, दैट पीपल विल इग्नोर यू इफ यू आर पुअर, दैट इज ऑल्सो वेरी प्रिवलेंट इवन नाउ डेज ना। तो ये सारी बात है, ठीक है।